guys, welcome back to our channel and to an all new episode. Before you get into this episode, we would usually tell you to subscribe, which you should, but also we're gonna tell you if you're not for Black Lives Matters and what's going on right now, you can press unsubscribe, baby.
Seriously.
On today's episode, all of our questions are going to be about Black Lives Matter, the LGBTQ community, as well as women's rights, because we want to hit those topics and inform you guys on that.
Basically, we just want you to have knowledge on what's going on in the world, and also maybe we can learn something out of it today too.
Yeah, we want you to have knowledge on what went on in the world back in the day and how it led up to what's going on right now. So stay tuned for this episode. Super informative, and thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Hey guys!
Welcome back to another episode of Spill.
Happy Sunday to you! It's actually not Sunday right now for us, but when you guys will be seeing this, we will be posting it on Sunday. It's actually Blackout Tuesday. So basically today, I'm sure you guys saw what happened this past week. Everyone was posting to support the Black Lives Matter movement. Like we said in the beginning, we kind of want to revolve our episode about what's going on right now because we had a whole sketch planned out for you, something totally off topic, something funny.
Yeah.
We were just like not really in the mood to be funny.
Yeah, we weren't feeling it at all.
Not feeling it at all. Honestly, we are not even in the mood to really film today, but we gotta be there for you guys always.
This is definitely a hard time to be posting, and honestly, like, we're all going through this pandemic of racism, and so for those who are sticking with us and, you know, swiping up and subscribing and liking, like, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. But on that note, black, not black, we are still like feeling it, and it's like a hard time right now.
Yeah,
and especially if you're on social media, like, whether you want to think about it or not, those things are in your subconscious and it sticks with you throughout the day. So it's kind of affecting our days as well. But before we get into that, actually, shout out to the LGBTQ community. Shout out to Pride Month. Happy Pride. We love you guys.
Love
and we're
my
here for
queer
you.
community.
And we will be touching more on that topic today.
So guys, a couple days ago, Kim and I and her friends, we went downtown to protest, and the fact that this is going on, like, it's so scary. And passing by Black Americans, they were thanking us, and it made me super emotional because it took me to go downtown with a sign saying Black Lives Matter for these black people to feel appreciated. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way at all, you know?
Yeah, like, while they were saying thank you, like, we're thinking, like, we're sorry. Like, we're sorry we haven't done this earlier. Like, this has been happening for years, and we're now just sticking up for you guys.
Yeah.
You know? So, again, sorry to our black community, to our black viewers. Like, we're sorry that this didn't happen sooner, and we really hope that this makes a change. But like you said, it was a surreal experience protesting. We posted a couple pictures in our last episode, but we had already filmed that episode before we went, so we didn't get to talk about it.
Yeah, so this is us talking about it, and us just sharing what we went through.
Like you said, yeah, like, it was beautiful to be thanked. It was beautiful to look in the eyes and be like, hey, like, I'm here for you. But it was also super scary at the same time. There was people breaking stuff. There was people hurt, limping in the street.
All these things that are being brought up to light on social media, like, I'm so grateful for it because I'm seeing and learning new things every single day, you know?
Yeah, and you see things on there that you don't see on the news. You know, what they don't want you to see sometimes. The day that we went to go protest, we were talking about, like, solutions and, like, what could be done, and a friend of mine brought up, like, the school system, and it really has, like, stuck to me since then, because we were saying how obviously racism comes most likely from your parents or the people you surround yourself with. So, like, one, we were saying maybe they could put a mandatory class from K through 12 about race and discrimination to learn about that, the real history about that. Maybe the schools have to have, like, a certain percentage of diverse students in it, as well as in the workplace. It has to have a certain percentage of diverse employees, just so we could be surrounded by different cultures and just love one another and be used to one another, because if you're around racism and white people all the time and you go to school with them and you work with them, like, it's kind of hard to understand other people.
Yeah. See, it's just like this country is ran by a white racist bastard piece of shit, and nothing's gonna change until we make that change. Like, yeah, a lot of us, not us, and I hope not a lot of you subscribers did not vote for this man, but we just have to get up and vote.
And then on top of that, another reason why we want to talk about women's rights today too, I just saw Jeffrey Epstein's documentary talking about white bastards. If you guys want to watch the 4-part documentary on Netflix, it's there. There's information about it on the internet, on YouTube, wherever you want to watch. Another issue that goes on every day that we don't talk about, sex trafficking amongst women, and then these white people that have so much money. I'm sure it's not just white people, but obviously, you know, most of the white people have all the money. So these people in power, these men in power that make women not have a voice because they have money. It's a lot. It's a lot. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into these questions. Thank you for those who left questions for us to answer today. We appreciate you.
Yes, let's get into our spill chat.
Let's do it.
Also, shout out to my Are You the One cast. This is the month that Are You the One came out. Like, it's a year.
Wow.
It's been a year.
That's crazy.
Welcome, children. Spiller question anonymous. When did Amber know she was bi, and how did she come out to her family? Well, when did I know?
Amber knew she was bi when... No, I'm kidding.
Thank you, Amber. I guess when I was younger, I just always thought girls and females were like pretty. I was just super interested in them, but I didn't really act upon it until middle school when I went on the softball team, and we were all
softball will do it to you.
You want a girlfriend, go on the softball team. It's true. The locker room.
You want to turn a girl out?
Rumors are true.
Invite her to the team.
And like everyone was just kind of open and with it and curious. So was I. Well, I was already curious, but that confirmed that I was bisexual, you know?
Yeah.
And then my first relationship with a girl was my freshman year in high school. And I wasn't really out yet. And I
at that point, like, did you think something was wrong with it?
I just didn't know if it was like a phase I was going through, and also I just have family members that are gay, and like I have family that was super like open and welcoming to them, but they were the guys, and I would have been the first girl. So like my thought was like, I'm scared, I don't want to be the first gay girl in the family, but my cousin Sammy told everyone I was. So I felt like
without really knowing.
Well, like he said he knew because like he's gay and he would tell everyone, and I felt like I had to like prove him wrong. So then I had met my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I referred to her as Steven, as a guy. And I would tell Kimberly, like, I remember I would vent to her about Steven, but it's really...
She should be on the phone with Steven. It was really right in front of me.
Yeah, who was my ex-girlfriend.
I had no clue. Like, it wasn't like, is that a girl? I didn't know.
Yeah. Kimberly was one of the first family members I came out to, actually. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. We were in Theo Richie's basement.
Yeah, we were in the...
She was like, I'm so scared to tell you. I'm like, what? You're pregnant? Like, of course, that's what I thought. And then she was like, no, like...
The total opposite.
She was like, did you say you were bi, or did you come out saying Steven is a girl?
Yeah, Steven is a girl, and I like girls.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. I literally feel like I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, I was so scared. I thought this bitch was out here pregnant at 14.
No.
But I remember after you did end up coming out to everyone, like, I remember one time you were over and my mom and a couple aunts were like asking her inappropriate questions about like...
I remember that, oh my god.
Like, physical questions like with females, like, but do you do this? And I got so mad. I was like, why are you guys like asking her that?
I remember that.
It was none of your business. It was weird. I felt she was uncomfortable, and like, you know,
like it wasn't
one of y'all bitches hooked up with a girl before. Don't lie. You know the answers.
Where the 70s were a poppin' time.
Yeah.
I don't mind answering questions, but I kind of felt like an alien in a way.
You were like pretty young.
Yeah, like well. it was really weird, but like it's my family. I guess they want to know.
That's
so
how our
like,
family is.
But if it would have been like somebody else that would have been problemo. And then eventually it came out to my mom, and now I'm out to the world, including my dad and my grandma, so I feel free like a butterfly.
Yeah, and check out, we'll put the link up here to our coming out episode, and Amber expresses when she talked to her dad about that.
Yeah, so if you guys have any issues with, you know, coming out with your sexuality, please click right here. Hey guys, so this part of the segment of our episode, we're just going to touch on some issues that are going on in the world. So as we can see with my rainbow colorful shirt, I will be taking care of the LGBTQ issues that are going on and important facts that we all need to know. Sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's get to gay learning. For those who do not know what LGBTQ plus stands for, it's for lesbians, gays, bisexuals, trans, it could be transgender, you know. Q is for queer, and plus is for example, people who are non-binary, who don't really identify as a he or a she. The first movement of the LGBTQ started in 1969, and this movement was to accomplish equal rights for gays. They wanted to eliminate laws barring homosexual acts between adults and also to end discrimination. Back in the day, they thought being gay was a crime, and the consequences for being gay and like being openly out with it was you would get beat to death, bullied, and some people would commit suicide. And this is some stuff that we're still dealing with today. It's really hard for us to come out and be comfortable and not looked at like an alien, basically. In 1952, the American Psychiatric Association enlisted people who basically were gay as sociopaths, as mental illness. At the end of the day, it's you who needs help. Thank you very much. I'm gay and I'm fucking proud, bitch. In 1994, it was the Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So they didn't want anybody in the military identifying with their sexuality. But you know what? That lasted up until 2011, because you know your man Barack Obama came through. Shout out to you. Also, in 2008, that's when the gay marriage became legal. I can't believe it took so long for that to even happen. But again, shout out to who? My man Barack Obama. Thank you. So protesting back in the day is now what we know as our gay pride parade. And instead of us protesting it, now we just all come together, share love and peace. Hope you guys learned something about that, and spread love, baby. Spread it.
What are some unfair double standards in society? Obviously, we're talking about women and men. There's just like so many, I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna say number one is going to be women's pay. We still get paid less than men. For what reason, I don't know, because we're definitely smarter than them.
And we work harder.
We work harder, and we also, I feel like they think using our emotions is a bad thing, but it's actually like such a good thing. Imagine we had a female president. Imagine, like, I feel like things would just be so different. Another double standard, we talked about this with the body count. The girl's a hoe, a guy's a man. You know, that's not fair. We're all human beings. We all like to have sex. PSA. We are sexual creatures. Just like Tokyo wants to have sex. Just like Rex wants to have sex. We're all animals. We like sex. And one of us shouldn't be bashed for it while the other one is being hyped for it. That just makes no sense, like, at all.
I would say my first one will probably be women not having the rights to be a leader in this world or in this country. You know, we've never had a female president, like you said, and I know for a fact that if we were to have one, life and this world would be so different. And yes, we may think with our emotions, we do, but you know what, that's what makes us stronger than men. Because men feel like being emotional, it's just like a sign of weakness, and it's not. It's really not.
Another double standard is like our products are so much more expensive than male products. When it comes to razors, deodorants, obviously guys don't have to buy tampons, but we have to buy tampons and pads. Like, oh, y'all supposed to be the breadwinners. You guys are getting paid more money, but girls have to pay more money
Yeah.
for their stuff. Even our clothes are more money than guys' clothes. And then also all this money that we have to spend on these products, and then so much pressure in society for us to look like a bad bitch. Like, damn, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. We gotta wash our face, do our skin routine, do our makeup, do our hair routine, do our hair, find a nice outfit. Dad bods are hot, but I haven't heard about a hot mom bod. Like, how come we're accepting you guys? Like, oh, like you have a cute dad bod, but I don't see y'all, oh, she has a mom bod that's hot. No. That is a fact. Welcome to another class session by Spill. We're gonna educate those asses today. So write down your notes and pay attention.
Yes, and no sleeping, you back there.
We're watching you. I saw that yawn.
So obviously another issue that we're going through currently is our Black Lives Matter. This has been going on for years.
Yeah, obviously we talked about it earlier. There's protests going on right now, riots, lockdowns, curfews, because people are outraged by the deaths of George and Ahmaud and Breonna. Their deaths are just the most recent ones and the ones that we know about,
Yeah.
you know? So the hashtag Black Lives Matter was actually first used in 2013. Someone posted it, I believe, on Facebook.
Yes.
Because of the death of Trayvon Martin, well, more so of the acquittal of George Zimmerman, who killed Trayvon Martin, who's a 17-year-old kid in a black hoodie, unarmed, and he was killed by George Zimmerman, who
Hunted down,
who was free after doing so. After that happened with Trayvon Martin, it obviously led to like a huge protest on the Million Hoodie March. Following that death, unfortunately, so many more black Americans were killed at the hands of police officers. People were continued to be outraged. But it did not start there, ladies and gentlemen. No, it did not. But we only have a few minutes, so we're gonna hit the highlights.
Yeah, it was back in time where slavery started. But they were also being traded as property. And it's just like, these are human beings.
Yeah,
and just because of their skin color, they think that they can abuse and use these people.
Yeah, they were legally considered 1/3 of a man.
Harriet Tubman, she's changed a lot of lives. So she basically escaped and
She was like going up north, and on her way up north, there were safe houses, which it was AKA the Underground Railroad, that helped her escape.
yes, and basically she went back and was trying to help slaves from the South go to these Underground Railroads so
Yeah.
they don't have to be slaves anymore.
All right, so then in 1865, the Civil War ended slavery.
Separate but equal.
Example, separate schools, bathrooms, movie
Even
theaters,
water fountains.
restaurants.
Yeah.
There was Emmett Till, who in 1955, he was from Chicago. He was visiting his family in the South and was at a store, and a white woman claimed that he whistled at her and like gave her like a flirtatious remark. A couple days later, her husband and her husband's brother took him out his house and basically beat him and killed him, and they did not get in trouble. They got away with it. Emmett's mother like had an open casket. Thousands and thousands of people came to support, and it was countrywide news.
A couple months later, that's when our girl Rosa Parks,
Y'all know who Rosa Parks is. If you don't, read a book.
she's the one who invented the word no. Back to being separate but equal. Back in the day on the buses, black people had to sit in the back of the bus and white people had to sit in the front. She was sitting in the front and the bus driver told her to get up, and she refused, and she stuck up for herself. But unfortunately, she got arrested, which kind of led to boycotting the buses, right?
Yeah, so like because of that, Martin Luther King was outraged by it, and they started the boycott of the bus companies because 70% of the people who rode the buses were blacks, because obviously they were poor, they didn't have enough money for cars. So yeah, that was the most majority of their business. So we're gonna end it off with the most iconic moment in black American history,
And even just in America
in general.
100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream
Spiller question _ I am OG Bella _. How do you deal with homophobes? I think first and foremost, like, you need to know that it's not you, it's not gay people, it's them. It's their own personal issues, whether they grew up in a family that was homophobic, whether their church was homophobic, or whether they're gay themselves, low-key, and they hate themselves for it, so they try to put that hate on other people to make them hate themselves so they can feel better about themselves. I think that happens more often than not. Just remember, try not to take it personal as much as it hurts. Stick up for gay people. If you hear like gay jokes or like we heard it, for instance, when your show came out, there was a lot of guys that were like, nah, I don't want to watch two guys kissing. Like, that's when you have to school someone and be like, but why?
Yeah, how to deal with them. Honestly, they're just really angry, and you just have to like be thankful that you're not like them. You're judgmental free. You don't have this built up anger for whatever reason they're angry for. It could have been like how she said, growing up you were born and raised a certain way and learned and taught a certain way, or maybe you are gay and you've questioned it and you're angry about it. They don't know who they are, but you do. So like at the end of the day, you're winning, you know? But it could also be hard when they're like being disrespectful about it. Let them know like you're just a horrible person for being who you are, like, you know? And that shit gets to people, and I'm sorry, I don't condone to like hurt people's feelings, but like, you're disrespecting me, you're disrespecting our gay community, like, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Scientifically proven that it is not a choice to be gay. You are born that way. Yeah. Or just like people discriminate because of the color of your skin. Her brother Anthony just recently said this to us. It's the same thing. It's just easier to hide your sexuality. It's not stamped on your forehead. For some people it is. For some people it's stamped right on their forehead. And that's okay. But there's some people that's not. Obviously, if you're black or brown, it's kind of hard to hide your color. That's why it's like more difficult.
Yeah.
But it's the same issue. The LGBTQ community gets killed for being gay. Just like the black community gets killed for being black. Like, it's a very similar issue, but like we said, it's not as big because you can hide it. Yeah. I'm not saying that like that's okay. It's not like, oh yeah, just hide that you're gay so you don't get killed. Like it's still a problem.
Yeah.
And definitely if you're like affected by homophobic comments, like talk to someone. There are counselors. There are LGBTQ groups, communities that you can join. You can go to meetings. You can participate in rallies and parades. Celebrate, go to gay bars, gay clubs. Like, you don't want to get into this depressing state. You don't want to let these words confuse your brain and have you thinking you're someone that you're not, okay? It is okay. Just like racists, homophobes are just as bad, and they have a lot of healing and growing to do. What's up, guys? It's Kimmy the Riveter here. And I'm gonna give you some facts on women's rights. If you are not a feminist, what are you doing? We're gonna date it back to 1833. It wasn't until then that women were allowed to attend college. It was called Oberlin College. And then in 1848 was the first Women's Right Convention, which obviously led to years and years of activism for women. I know, Tokyo, you feel strongly about this topic, but I'm gonna join in. I love you. Why are you being so mean? I love you. Okay, bye-bye. And then we fast forward to 1920, and the 19th Amendment was made and compelled, declaring the rights of the citizens of the United States to vote should not be denied on account of sex. Can you believe it? Just because we had a vagina, they try to tell us we couldn't make decisions? Like, what? Ridiculous. And then in 1963, Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act, making it illegal to have sex-based wage discrimination for doing the same job. Now, although that is an act in this country, for some reason we still getting paid lower. Not sure why. It's illegal, but I guess it's like a little hard to prove. That's why it's like happens so often. Obviously, we want to give you all the facts, all the history, because there's so much, but we only have a limited amount of time. So I'm going to fast forward all the way to basically today in 2016. You all know that Hillary Clinton was the first woman to become a presidential nominee, which is also crazy because guess what? It's 2020 and we still haven't had a woman president. So that means that this country still thinks that like women are below men. And lastly, we're going to go into the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement actually started in 2006, but then it was kind of forgotten about for a while, and then we fast forward to 2017. Alyssa Milano, she actually tweeted out a tweet that said, if you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write Me Too as a reply to this, which ended up getting thousands of replies of women who also were sexually harassed, and like each reply helped another woman to reply. So everyone had all these secrets because they're ashamed because this happened to them, and then they realize how many women it actually happens to. Just know that this is also still a problem in our country, and when those women's rights come around, march for those as well. Love you guys, love you betches, and I love my trans women as well. Thank you guys for like tuning in and making it this far in the episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope you guys were educated, and we hope you guys support.
Yeah, and if you guys want to add anything to what we were showing today, please feel free to comment below, and just know we're here for you and we love you guys.
Yeah, we hope next week could be a little lighter, and we will see you on Wednesday with an all new vlog.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Peace and love.
Be careful. Be careful. Stay safe and stay woke.